What's going on, guys? It's Henry, and in this video I want to talk about simplicity and how to scale your portfolio consistently, because way too many people make the mistake of being way too aggressive and losing a lot of money. So in this video I want to help you have a more consistent mindset around option trading. And honestly speaking, I just started a boot camp. I closed it out, so it's not available anymore, but in the boot camp, one of our very first sessions that we had was just discussing simplicity, and it really had me thinking that simplicity is something that people just don't get. Most people want to work more for less. People don't understand that. Well, for me, my option trading strategy is all around creating passive, consistent income. So if you look at my portfolio right now, I have so far made 16.63% this year so far, which is, not the best year. It's not a bad year, but it's not the best year. And if I take a look at the S&P 500, the S&P is up 12.89%. I am very happy that I'm beating the S&P 500, and honestly speaking, about 99% of people don't even beat the index. So that means you're better off just putting all of your money, every single penny, into the S&P 500 index fund and absolutely not touching it anymore and doing basically nothing and just focusing on your job or your business or whatever you have going on in your life. But for me, I actively want to pursue beating the market. That is my goal, okay? So if you take a look at the S&P, typically no one's even getting this return. I have so far achieved about 4% higher, which is, granted, not that much. And I'm typically trying to beat the S&P 500 by at least 1 or 2% per month, because honestly, my goal is to make about 4% per month or about 48% per year. Now, I've had years where I've made a lot more money. And if that's not a lot of money, you just A, don't understand how markets work, or B, you're working with very small amounts of capital. And, not to offend anyone, that's completely okay. We all have to start somewhere. But to say to yourself that 48% is not enough and you want to have a 700% return is very, very silly, because if you take a look at even the best investors like Warren Buffett, he's having a 20% return, per year on a long-term basis. So I am saying that I want to double his return. And if you want to be more aggressive than that, you are taking more risk than that by a whole lot. Because the way that finance works and the way that life really works is that if you want something more, you have to risk more to get that something that is much more unusual. So for me, I actually focus on something called the Sharpe ratio. So if you're, an option trader that's new, or you're just getting into this game, or even if you're really experienced, you may have not heard of the Sharpe ratio. But essentially, a Sharpe ratio, something just very fancy that I learned during my undergraduate education studying finance, is that it's basically the return that you're getting divided by the risk. So for me personally, I think that you can have a, double on your portfolio. But if your portfolio is going from 100K to 300, down to 40K, back to 400K, down to 80K, that is some crazy volatility, and you're basically on a roller coaster ride. And if you end your portfolio from 100 to 300, but in between it's gone, up 5x and basically lost it all only to finish at 4x, right? That is a lot of volatility, and your Sharpe ratio is going to be trash, okay? Your Sharpe ratio is going to be very low because your volatility is 100% or it's freaking 500%, right? And your Sharpe ratio is going to be off, okay? For me, I'd rather make 16%, but if my portfolio is just literally a straight line up, that is a perfect scenario for living the best life, traveling the world, and retiring, okay? And that's why I've been able to retire under 30. I'm in foreign countries. I travel anywhere I want, anytime I want, and I don't live in the US anymore, because you can live a much better life going somewhere abroad, okay? But you can only do that if you have a good Sharpe ratio, and basically your returns are super passive and super consistent, because I don't want to travel the world and also be by my computer working 24/7. That is not the goal. The goal is freedom, and option trading should be a tool that you use to get money, and money is just a tool to live a more better and more free life on your own terms. So for me, what I want to show you is basically my strategies, but honestly, just talking about mindset. And I hope you don't mind me talking about mindset, because everyone wants the secret formula. But honestly, on CNBC, on other YouTube channels, they're just talking. They don't actually have any, real advice. They just have opinions. And that's because there are no real answers in the market. There's only a few things that I really know. And that's that option selling is way better than option buying. And it's also that doing strategies like covered calls and selling puts is a very consistent way to make income. But other than that, nobody's actually able to predict the market or actually know where the market's going to go or actually tell you when to actually close a position perfectly, because there is no perfect time to close a spread, for example. So I recently made a video on spreads, which you absolutely have to watch because it is literally the best video on call credit spreads. And for example, call credit spreads are really fantastic in this market environment right now, and actually in most market environments, because the market tends to rise slowly. But it's rising slowly. It's not usually rising up like crazy fast. So a call credit spread benefits when the market is not rising too much. It can rise a little bit and a call credit spread won't get hurt. The market could go sideways and a credit spread won't get hurt. And the market could go down a bit and, well, a call credit spread wouldn't get hurt at all. A put credit spread could get hurt if the market has a really big move. Where the point is that if the market is kind of trending sideways, moving up a little bit, moving down a bit, credit spreads are going to be fantastic to have in your portfolio. But the whole thing is you also have to have a mindset around risk management. People just don't get that simple scales. You can't have all of your money in one basket, and that having multiple different strategies is the way to go. Some people think that I'm going to use just one strategy to make all of the money in the world. And that's not how it works. I mean, the truth is you can use selling puts and just sell puts. I have a student, Danny, who's in my Discord. He's just selling puts. We call him the one trick pony. He's making $6,500 per month every single month. And that's cool. I love selling options like puts and covered calls. You can absolutely be successful with that. But if you want a little bit higher return and you want the biggest Sharpe ratio, you're going to be mixing in a number of strategies. Those strategies are selling puts, which, by the way, I have a whole playlist on you have to check out. I have every single educational video to help you become a professional option trader, or at least a really solid option trader who does this full time, making a full-time income, but not actually working full-time, only 2 to 3 hours per week. In fact, in my Discord community, I'm only trading Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And each of those sessions is literally just 45 minutes. So my time spent trading is less than 3 hours per week. And in the rest of my time, I'm spending it coaching, traveling, eating, going to the gym, and just doing whatever I want. Because again, this is just a tool. Money is just a goal that you have so you can do the actual things that you want to do in life, which could be volunteering, could be starting a business, could be spending time with your family, could be getting in shape, getting control of your mental health, etc., etc. Okay, so taking a look at my portfolio, I just want to remind you guys that I'm not one of those gurus that's promising a day trading or swing trading strategy that is going to make you 16% per week, because in all honesty, that does not exist. Those people are selling the wet dream for you to purchase a really expensive course or a really expensive Discord community. And look, there's no good guys. I also sell a Discord community. It's not free. I have a whole team that supports it. They're very expensive. I have to pay them, but at least I'm not promising something that's unrealistic. I'm literally helping people, and all my students have success because they're all realistic. The people that want to get a 16% return per week are not joining my program. And to be quite honest, if you have that goal of doubling your portfolio in a month or in 3 months or something super aggressive, you're not a fit for me anyways. And that's why I don't mind disqualifying people. That's also why we have calls, because I want to remind you that we live in a reality where money does not grow on trees, okay? Sometimes you can make a lot of money short term, but on a long-term basis, people aren't stupid, okay? The market isn't stupid, okay? If those returns were possible, why would it be possible for everyone? Wouldn't everyone just get those crazy returns, right? It doesn't make sense, okay? If Warren Buffett's getting 20%, why is someone else on the internet promising you to get more than 20%, okay? It's very rare, okay? And in my case scenario, I've done a lot better, but hey, that just comes with experience. I worked really hard. And to be honest, like I said, I took probably a little bit more risk. I was trading Tesla a lot, and that did contribute to a lot of my gains. So I'm just being honest. I did go for risky stocks with a lot of implied volatility, and now I'm scaling down because I want to work with folks that have a bit more money to A, afford my coaching, and B, because it's easier to work with people that already have some money, because from there it's really easy to scale. Now look, I have tons of free content on growing a really tiny portfolio from 3K to 5K and from 5K to 10K. But if you can have a $25,000 portfolio, you are in really good shape, because from there on it's really easy to get to 6 figures. And from 6 figures to 7 figures, it's honestly not that hard. And after 7 figures, it just becomes really easy. I mean, for example, if I go to my account and I go to transfers, you will notice that my portfolio has stood still. I admit that, but hey, the reason why it's standing still is because every couple of weeks I'm taking out 40 and 50K, 36K, 45K, 35K. I mean, literally in the past, like 2 months, I've taken out like 35 plus 45, like over 6 figures. And that's because I don't really care about continuing to scale to the moon. I want to actually enjoy life. I have people to pay on my team because my Discord community is literally #1 in the world because it's actually realistic. People get results and people become full-time investors. And what I mean, again, by full-time is full-time doesn't mean that you're spending a full-time on it. It means that you're earning a full-time income without spending all of your time on it, because I hate working really long hours. And that's actually why, I don't even know if I admitted it on this channel, but I've literally gotten fired from almost all my jobs. Because, for example, I didn't get fired from Goldman Sachs, but I had to be at the office in Los Angeles at 6 o'clock in the morning because 6 a.m. on the West Coast is 9 a.m. on the East Coast. So I had to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm not a morning person. And it was extremely hard. Like, I had mental health issues because I wasn't getting the proper sleep. I was super depressed, unhappy. Yes, I learned a lot at Goldman Sachs, but honestly, I would never trade my freedom or my time for any salary. Even if someone offered me a CEO salary of like $18 million to work at like some really huge company, honestly, money is just a tool. Again, as long as you have enough money to live a consistent lifestyle, you don't need more money. So for me, when I'm making like $40,000 or $50,000 on my trading portfolio in other countries, that's a lot of money. I can eat at the best restaurants, I can stay at the best hotels, I can really just fund my lifestyle, and making another $50,000 and hitting 6 figures per month every single month is cool, but I would have to take on more risk, and more risk means more volatility. And for me, why would I take more volatility and risk to make my life more uneasy? What would I gain? I already have everything that I want. So I just want to encourage you to have that mindset of long-term passive income safety, okay? Again, I hate the day trader people. I hate the swing trader people. I hate all the people that are just in it for the short term. They're like, I want to get some short-term results. Well, I don't know. Maybe you want to hit the casino? All right, just being honest with you. But if you want long-term consistent results, you want to mix in different option trading strategies, and you just want to basically focus on the long-term results.